Okay, today's unit is Intro to Trigonometry, and this is actually something that you will use a lot of and something that has a lot of uses in the real world as well. It's something that you can use with a lot of structures and buildings. Like if you talk about or think about a roof of a house, it does have to have a certain slant, a certain degree, and that is something that is very important. So this, we are going to assume that this is a right triangle. So we're going to draw the little box in on the side here. And then we are going to use something that's going to be new to you. It's called theta. It's a Greek letter. So it is used to identify which angle we're talking about. So there's actually three parts to your triangle. So using theta as your reference angle or the angle we're talking about. So you have the opposite side, the side across from the angle that is touching the leg. So that is the opposite. Then we have the side that is touching that angle and touching the right angle, and that is going to be the adjacent. And then we also have the hypotenuse, which we talked about before, and it's always the side across from the right angle. And you will label those, you can label them O, A, and H. That's perfectly fine. So with trigonometry, your three trigonometric functions are sine, cosine, and tangent. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. And so a lot of times you will actually see this written as Sakatoa. People say Sakatoa, but I like to write it like this. So that you remember that they equal those fractions. You will want to write that. I'll write this at the top of every slide, but you are going to want to write this in your notes and such. Okay, the very first thing this is telling us is to label the triangle sides as opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse, and you can just use the letters. That's perfectly fine. So if we have theta here on number 1, opposite is going to be the side across from it, adjacent is the side touching it, and then hypotenuse is always the side across from the right angle. If it's easier for you to label the hypotenuse first, go ahead and do that. So go ahead and take the right angle, and it's always the side across from the right angle is your hypotenuse. Okay, on number 2, so we have the theta. It is touching this side up here on the top, so that's going to be our adjacent. And then the side across from it that it's not touching at all is the opposite. It's opposite from it. So then on number 3, same thing. This side is the opposite from it, and the adjacent is the side that is touching it. It will help you to label this on all your triangles just so that you have and know you know what you have and you know what to use. Okay, so like I said, it will help you to go ahead and make sure you write this on the top of your paper or on the piece of paper, whatever you're working on, so that you can see it, so that you can remember what is what. And now we're going to label these sides on 4, 5, and 6 so that we can fill in the sine, cosine, and tangent of each. We just want to keep the fraction as is. We don't want to do any simplifying. We just want to leave it the way it is with the given information. Okay, so on number 4, we have the 7 as the opposite because it's the side across from the theta. We have the 25 as the hypotenuse because it's across from the right angle. So it's this one here across from the right angle. And then the 24 is the adjacent because it is the side that is touching the theta and it's touching it. So that's why it's adjacent. Okay, so sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So the opposite we have labeled as 7 and the hypotenuse we have labeled as 25. So there's my answer. For cosine, it wants adjacent over hypotenuse. So we're going to do that based on the numbers we have labeled here. So adjacent is 24 over the hypotenuse, which is 25. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So it's going to be 7 over 24. And that's it. All right, we're going to do 5 together, and then I'm going to have you try 6 on your own, and then I will show you the answer so you can check that. So let's go ahead and label this. The hypotenuse is 41 across from the right angle. 40 is the opposite because it's across from the theta. And then 9 is the adjacent because it's touching the theta. All right, now let's write them in. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So 40 over 41. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So 9 over 41. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. So 40 over 9. I tried to write the 4 and the 0 all in one thing. It didn't work out. All right, so try number 6. I'm going to label the triangle. Oh, but there's one thing missing. If you notice on number 6, it is missing that hypotenuse. So let's do that together real quick. You can use the Pythagorean theorem to solve it. 8 squared plus 15 squared equals our c squared. So 8 squared is 64. 15 squared is 225 equals c squared. Then when you add those together, that's 289 equals c squared. Last step, square root both sides. So c is going to equal 17. So we have that side is 17. So go ahead and label the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse and try to figure out the sign. Hit pause now, or sine, cosine, and tangent. Hit pause now, and then you can see the answers in a minute. Okay, here's the answers for this. Hopefully you figured this out on your own. We have the opposite, the adjacent, and the hypotenuse. And I filled in the sine, cosine, and tangent based on that information. Okay, at the top of this slide, you'll see it actually is written in here for us. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. All right. So now we have to actually figure out a missing side. So this time, this is where it gets a little bit more complex, and we're going to talk a little bit about calculator steps and how all of that works. Okay, so where this says sine theta, well, first we got to figure out what we have. Okay, so we have opposite and adjacent. So we aren't given the hypotenuse in here because you see AB does not actually have a side length. We can't figure it out because we don't have the two legs to be able to figure it out using Pythagorean theorem. So what we are given is this angle on the inside to be able to find that other side of our triangle. So we have opposite and we have adjacent. Therefore, we have to use tangent because that's our only option. We only have the opposite, we only have the adjacent. So we have to use tangent. So we're going to say tangent of the angle that's given, which is 50.1, equals opposite, which is x, over adjacent, which is 5. Now, this is an equation, and we actually want to solve it like an equation as well. So our goal is to get x by itself. Well, to get x by itself, we got to get that 5 off the bottom. So times by 5 on both sides. So 5 tangent of 50.1 equals x. Good, x is by itself. But 5 tangent of 50.1, yikes-a-roni, what is that? Well, we got to type it in the calculator. So let's fill out this bottom real quick. Trig ratio that we used was going to be tangent. And then to type that in your calculator, what you're actually going to do, I don't have a way to bring the calculator on the screen for this. I will do it in class that way because it'll let me click back and forth, but on here it'll only let me record this white sheet. So what you're going to do is type 5, and then you'll see the tangent button is right above the parentheses button. It's 2 above the 9. And then you want to put 50.1, close parentheses. The other thing is you want to make sure it is in degree mode. I'm going to do all of this in class with you. So if you're struggling with the typing into the calculator, just take the numbers that I give you for today. And I'm going to work with the calculator steps in class so that you can really understand how to do them. And I actually might make a separate video of just how to type in the calculator steps because there is a separate recording thing I can just do to do that. So X is 5.98. All right, let's look at the next one. So we have this 60-degree angle, and we have the adjacent because we have the side that's touching it, and then we have the hypotenuse. Ooh, that looks not like an H. We have the hypotenuse because it is the side across from the right angle. So if we have adjacent and hypotenuse, we're going to use cosine. So then we're going to set this up. Cosine of 60 equals adjacent, which is x, over hypotenuse, which is 11. So now, yet again, it's still an equation, so we have to solve it. Times by, gracious me, I'm struggling to write today. Times by 11 on both sides. So then x equals 11 times the cosine of 60. And so I'll type that in my calculator, 11 cosine of 60, and I get x equals 5.5. And I guess I should write it down here. All right, and last but not least, let's look at number 3. So with number 3, we have the opposite and we have the hypotenuse. So opposite and hypotenuse means I'm going to use sine. So if I'm going to use sine, I'm going to set this up. Sine of 57. And remember, this sine or cosine or tangent always has to use this number inside the triangle. It always has to be a degree. So sine of 57 equals opposite over hypotenuse. This one looks a little bit different. It's actually going to have a few more steps to it. So we got to get x by itself. So to do that, first thing we got to do is times by x on both sides to get the x off the bottom. So we have x sine of 57 equals 10.8. Well, x still isn't by itself, so we got to do that. So we have to divide by sine of 57 on both sides. So then we get that x is going to equal 10.8 divided by sine of 57. So if we do that in our calculator, we get 12.88 as our answer. Okay, last but not least here is the, we've still got sine, cosine, and tangent at the top, so that in a minute, but we're finding the missing angle when you're given the two sides. So sine, opposite over hypotenuse, cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse, tangent, opposite over adjacent. Okay, so we have the hypotenuse and we have the adjacent on number 7. So adjacent and hypotenuse means I'm going to use cosine. So then we need to fill this in, but now we don't know the angle. So here's how we write it. We write cosine of theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And now this is where it gets a little funky, and I'm definitely going to show you these calculator steps in class because I know there's going to be a lot of questions on them, and that's perfectly fine. So we actually have to find the inverse of cosine to find that angle. So we're going to do cosine to the -1 of 12 over 13. That's we're going to type in our calculator. So that equals theta or x or whatever you want to use. So to type that on your calculator, if you have your calculator in front of you, so first you want to make sure it's in degree mode. So you hit mode and you see where it says radian and degree. You want to scroll down and you want to make sure that the word degree is highlighted. Then this cosine to the -1, you can get that by hitting second and then the cosine button, and then do 12 divided by 13. I am going to do a short video of how to type these in on the calculator, probably as a separate little video just to help you out. It won't be more than 2 minutes. And then that answer came to 22.6, and that is degrees because it is an angle. All right, number 8, let's look at that one. So we have the adjacent and we have the hypotenuse, which yet again means we're going to use cosine. And if we're using cosine here, we want to set this up as cosine of theta equals 6 over 9. And then to solve for that cosine, we rewrite this as cosine inverse of 6 over 9. And that's going to give me my x value. Type that in my calculator. And then I get 48.2 degrees. And that's it. All right, last one, number 9. So here we have the opposite and the adjacent. So we're going to have to use tangent. So we're going to set it up as tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent. And then to solve, we have to do the inverse of 4 over 13. It's going to give us our x value. So we're going to type that in. And we get 17.1 degree. All right, and that is it for that. I will say, I'm sorry that it does have to be a separate video, but the calculator steps is going to be a separate video. And it's going to also be able to help people if they are struggling a little bit after class with calculator steps. So go watch that. It's not going to be more than 2 minutes.